Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good. Last session we did some more work for the movement speed. We did a few reviews. The precise ratio is a maximum of 22844. So that's a third. It's the nearest power of 2. Be off by 1 due to running down. Precise ratio is a maximum of that, yeah. I would have expected 3 indices for 1 vertex. This matches the old behavior. It's returning false will abort the loop and stop adding scorches. Yeah. It's a strange change. Right scotch to buffer. XX. Min X. Return true. Right scotch to buffer. Let me do a stash here. Let's go to main. Pull. Switch branch. Rebase. Stash pop. Great. And then let's search for this function again. If not, write scorch to buffer. Maybe return an enum result to make the error, make the return meaning more explicit. I wonder if there's a bug in our pipeline, our build actions, but I've not seen this problem before. Perhaps try to create a duplicate. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how to get past this. I don't know what this mumbo jumbo is. Yeah. Good. So let me get back here. So last session we did have the LLM write a bunch of things for us. So we need to check if it makes sense or not. So I do like that it got rid of all these object arguments again. It did add new defines here. Where is this used? Oof. Use retail physics forward speed. Scripted physics forward speeds. This or this. Retail scripted physics. Use retail scripted physics. I wonder if we should rename this to cinematic physics forward speed. Let's worry about the naming later. Or yeah. Scripted camera active. Notify scripted camera movement. So how's this set? It's being expert. Oof. Same. Compatible X for safe. Why is this here? Mhm. 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 And frame. Mhm. Seal F. Mhm. Mhm. Rear to ends. Mhm. Extend rather than replace. Extend. Mhm. Extend. Mhm. Mhm. For scripted camera movement, yeah. Mhm. Let's go to game defines. So I think we need to rename this preserve retail physics forward speed in cinematics. Mm. Mhm. Okay, and then here we do still have any users of this? No. Then here we rename this guy. Here's retail in cinematics. Okay, Fair enough. In cinematics. Not use retail physics forward speed. Huh? What? How does that make sense? If not use retail physics forward speed. And that. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Because even if this is true, this can still be true, right? Like, why are these mutually exclusive? Huh? That doesn't make sense. Because then if we disable this one, and then we enable this one. No, if we enable this one, and then we enable this one, then this one, then this won't work. Huh? Expands to 0. Ah. Actually, it does make sense. Yeah, they are mutually exclusive. Okay. Okay, I was mistaken. Yeah. Okay, but how about we move these down here? Use retail movement speeds. Why do we need that? Why do we need this here? Who's calling this function? A few places. Why don't we just call the original function? I think it's simple enough to just call this here. Right. No middleman needed. Although Okay, we can polish the comments later. The text here is a bit long, isn't it? Okay, I think that is fair. Yeah. Why did it remove this template here? It did apply this change anyway. What the hell? Why did it do that? I told it to not do that. It did it anyway. Or did I? What the hell? It just decided to... It decided to change this here on its own. Okay, so let me reset this here again. I don't want that. I don't want that removed. And I don't want this reverted. Does it compile? Okay, that I agree with. Reset camera. Okay, why did it rename these guys here to goal? Why was min turn speed removed? Why are they protected now? So for some reason these can be private, yeah. Goal min speeds. I don't like that they are suddenly renamed. Like, why are they renamed suddenly? Who decided that? And where are the call sites? Here. I don't like that. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that shit. Revert the rename. It just makes change more complicated. Min speed. And min speed. No. Min turn speed. Okay. Is that better? A little bit. There's still other ones here. Are there more? There's more. Yeah, why did it rename these? I don't understand. Makes no sense. There's a compiler. AI states. What is that? Okay, why is this failing now? Because it moved. What the hell? Right. It's because it moved these to protected to down here for some reason. So yeah, I don't know what the LLM is doing here. It makes no sense. It just starts moving things around. It wasn't part of what I prompted it to do, and it just goes ahead and does it for no reason. It's really bad. It really is bad, yeah. Get template name. Where's get template name? Get template name. There we go. So goes here. So, Jesus. So this one also needs renaming. There we go. Great. Good. So now it just removed the object argument. It still has this one here removed for some reason. Let me add that to So there was get template name. Then how about we add this function here? Okay. So get max speed. So that was moved to there. Okay, we move it back down to protected. Protected. Where is it? Here. There we go. Good. So have we repaired the damage? Yes. Good. So this is fine. I don't know why it touched here this assert. I didn't ask it to do that. It really likes to add line breaks apparently. Who knows why? Okay, this is fine. Comment we deal with later. This is fine. Good. And here we have restored all the names. Great. Okay, so locomotor looks fine apart from the comments. It removed that, yes. It replaced all these macro names here, yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. Fantastic. That looks good. Looks good, yeah. Okay, great, great, great. Good, then physics update. So here we have this function. Yes, this retail movement speed. Yeah. This one. Should we maybe make it a static function instead of a loose function? Doesn't it better belong into the locomotor? The locomotor uses physics behavior. Does physics update use locomotor? No. Okay. Physics update. Great. Oh. Giant lens flare monkey. Giant lens flare monkey. Okay. So before we polish further, how about we test it first? If it actually works. Oh, it doesn't even compile. Okay, great. Why? Oh. 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 It renamed it because must be. Maybe we should rename these to get scaled. Get scaled max speed. That didn't work. Good. Then we have. So this one needs to call this. And then this one should be that. There we go. But so this returns. This is the non-scaled speed. Get scaled. Get scaled is also not. I think goal was actually not a bad name that it has chosen there. Maybe final get real. Get. Yeah, let's call it get real. Good goal, get real. Get real. So, yeah, what do we do? Either we call it score or final or real maintain speed. Get real mint. Well, that sounds bad. Or actual. Get actual. Okay, let's do get actual. How about that? Actual. But then I wonder. Yeah, I think that's fine. Get actual. Get actual max speed. There we go. Okay. Scale speeds. Okay, will this compile? Let's see. It does. Okay, great. Then let's test that. Whether this works. So, then let's load into nothing. We want to test cinematics. So how about we test GLA 2. GLA 2 is always a good cinematic. Yeah. Very good cinematic. There's a rocket boogie. Yeah. Yeah, this looks okay. Ignore the particles. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, now the cutscene is over and it would be nice to maybe we should put a put a breakpoint here. So false. Max speed scaled 133 157. Is that correct scaling? 1.333 times 1.18057. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay, this looks good. Yeah, I think this looks very good. Let's try some other cinematic. Let's say USA 2. Let's see what's going on in there. Okay, that looks good. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Okay, that looked okay. Okay, cool. Let's try some other. Let's try our USA 3. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Okay, great. Land straight on the fire. Okay, Lotus on the move. Okay, so far everything looks good. Let's Let's see some other. China 4. Let's take a look at that. there they come. There they come. Oh, they run behind the GLA, man. Oof. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oof. Oof. They're getting surrounded here. Oh, that's tough. Yeah. Tough times here for the GLA. Getting totally cornered. Yeah. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Let's try use A1. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, fantastic. Jumping to the camera. Mm-hmm. 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 Oof. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, how about we race to the train real quick? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, the rebels are not shooting back. Nice particle effects. Okay. How about we get some ranges? Get the overloads. There are the terrorists waiting. Okay. Attacks look far more spectacular with these particle effects. It's a Michael Bay game. Whoa. All land in one blob. Okay, so we load up here our nice forces. Let's put a breakpoint in the script engine. Here, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now there's only a question now I have here. What if we have a camera movement and then the camera movement is done and then it just stays there and yeah, nothing happens for a bit. Let me I tweaked a few things by hand regarding script engine notify scripted camera movement. This will only work well for chained camera movements, but if the camera is stationary for a while during moves, then the signal will flip. Stationary for a while during moves, then this will only work well for chain camera movements, but if the camera is stationary for a while during moves, then the result of will flip during cinematics. Is there anything we can do to make this more robust? And cover the entirety of a cinematic. Let's see what it can come up with. I updated the review to mention it, but I can't pass a constant reference. The assignment updates the reference count. What is the compiler? Create render backend. That's good. Selecting and no longer initialize the X8 wrapper. I kept the initialization in the factory rather than the constructor. That's fair, yeah. Okay. Create render backend. One thought on this. Given this and this is now asymmetric. It's not asymmetric. We should make the constructor, constructor of private and make constructor private so that the pairing cannot be violated. That means takes split backend needs a create function, a static create function. There we go. Asymmetric, we should make the constructor backend private so that the parent cannot be violated. Okay. Okay. That's fair. So that means this guy is now calling create render backend. Yeah. This one. Hold on. Create render backend. D3D. Okay. 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 Fair enough. Okay, that looks good. Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. I like that. Yeah. Bool light. What does bool light do? Light, light, light. Init light. Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Never null in between. Created an init, destroyed and shut down. Um, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mit for cleaner comments. There already is authoring on many other comments in this change. Hmm. Hmm. So, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, good. Then let me submit that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. So let's see. Cinematics are bracketed by explicitly paired script actions that are dispatched on the game logic side. So the logic can latch them without ever reading the display of the tactical view. Camera letterbox begin end, disable input enable, and camera BW mode begin end. Latching these holds the window open across camera holes. Camera letterbox begin and disable input. Latching these holds the window open across camera holes. Which set should define brackets plus time window? Latch letterbox and input disabled. And keep the existing timed camera movement window as a union. The brackets hold the window open across holes, so it can no longer flicker mid-cinematic. Timed window still covers a scripted camera sequence authored without letterbox or input disable. Wide is coverage, but a bare scripted camera pan during ordinary gameplay still opens a brief window. True. Brackets only. Latch letterbox input in and drop the timed camera movement window. Only a real cinematic bracket counts. No, I would say we do this one here. Yeah, let's do that. A begin with no matching end would pin the whole mission at retail speed. Both brackets are self-policing in practice. A missing enable input locks the player out, so a ship mission that got this wrong is already visibly broken. How defensive should the implementation be? Plain bool plus assert. Store each bracket as a bool, not a counter. So repeated begin does not nest, and a single end always closes it. Yeah. Clear both in script engine. Surface authoring mistakes. Plain bool, no asserts. But no debug assertion. Yeah, I don't think we need the assert, right? Bool plus safety timeout. Yeah, I'm leaning towards this second option here. Like, we don't really need an assert for this. If there's a script error, then yeah, that's a map issue. On an end with no begin. No debug assertion. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, great. Feature is not exposed for configuration. Okay, fair enough. So, hold the retail speed window open for the whole cinematic, not just for camera movements. The gate for preserve retail physics forward speed and cinematics was already replaced with a global logic bound window. That window is currently built only from the durations of the 8-time camera script actions. That only works for chained camera movements. Every cinematic routinely holds the camera still between moves. A static shot while a unit drives into frame. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. The fix is to stop inferring the cinematic from camera motion, instead latch the brackets that delimit a cinematic. Letterbox, this in disable input, enable input. Documentation, 2 bracket ledges on script engine. Letterbox active. Plain bool, deliberately not a counter. Initialize both to false. Rename the query. Rename the query to match its new meaning. Tactical view. It's cinematic. Persist the 2 ledges. Oof. Boundary step. Objects in motion still take a 1 frame speed step. Yeah, not persisted in the default builds. Input disables broader than cinematic. To rear beat that disables input without letterboxing also opens the window. That is intended. The player is not in control here either. But disable is broader than cinematic. One improvement, instead of adding to maybe it's fine. I wonder if we should make these bit flags. Maybe not. No, I think it's fine. Auto. Go ahead, do the edits. Okay, let me stop the debugging session here. Okay. So it did a bunch of things now. Let me go back to this review. So preserve retail particles. Hack to allow is using smudge with retail smudge particles. The volume particle depth was not set up through ini and was hard coded to a particle depth of 6. But default volume. This means if someone now sets, what is this value? 0. This means if someone now sets the depths to 0 in the ini explicitly, then it still uses, then it overwrites it. That does not seem right. If someone now sets the depth to 0 in the ini, then it overwrites it here. It does not seem right. It should probably only set it if the ini field is not set. What's the argument name? This one. Someone sets this and any writes it here. Set perhaps it should only set it if the ini field was not set. Right. Default 0. Or is 0 an invalid setting for volume particles? But that can't be, because if it is default, then that should be valid. Good, let's set this review. Okay. Create, create render backend, okay. Static create, private, Okay, great. Now, void window. Okay. Style can move this function to the begin of this file, so it is not sitting between the backend functions. Okay, so this one is resolved. This one looks correct. Great, yeah. This one is good. Active random backends. Never null in between. Okay, fantastic. So okay, so render backend if if it is null, we create it. If it is still null, then there will be an error. Delete. Yeah. Okay. What is this here? Render backend viewport. I guess that's part of this one. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Some forward declarations here. Yeah. So these comments, I think we have. Okay. 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 Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't have anything else to complain about here, I think. I think it looks pretty clean. Yeah. Static create, set gamma, begin scene, blah, 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 override. The render backend is all pure virtual. Is it not? Yeah. Yeah, it's all pure virtual with a virtual destructor, which is empty. Yeah. Why does this now have 3 more arguments? What is this? Clear. 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 Why is that? Maybe it can have default arguments. Let me see. Clear. DX8 wrapper. Clear. Yeah, it has default arguments here. So let me ask. Originally, dx8 wrapper clear had the original dx8 wrapper clear has default arguments as default init arguments. The render interface has them removed. Was this deliberate? I think pure virtual functions can also have default default init arguments. Okay, but that's not a big deal, I guess. Although, like, I don't know if it's possible to preserve the default arguments and do it. Yeah. Names intentionally match the existing. Is this migration comment needed in the source? Maybe just copy it into well, maybe we'll leave it. It helps migration, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else to complain, really. It looks fine. Okay. Looks clean to me. Good. Then let me see here. Okay, so it implemented what we have asked. Let's see how that looks. So I added new things here. Letterbox active, blah, blah, blah. Part of the script engine. Letterbox. Is in cinematic. Is in cinematic. Okay, cool. So let's see how this is called now. Do letterbox mode. Set letterbox active. Letterbox active. Yeah. Input disabled. Input disabled. Disable input. Input disabled by scripts. Okay, I think this looks fine. But what I don't like about this is that this here, this rationale of why it's placed outside of this makes an assumption about the use case, right? Which means that this flag is now not correct anymore because it will be true even if this is false, and it didn't actually set this, right? So that's not quite right. It works for our use case, but logically speaking, it is confusing. So we probably Maybe disabled input shouldn't be a condition for it. Sure. Is there any reason why a script would disable the player input? Without it being a cinematic. Yeah, I think maybe we just take the letterbox. Just the letterbox. Yeah. Which is probably good enough for most of the campaign cinematics because they have these letterboxes generally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm inclined to remove this again. Let's comment this out for now. Yeah. X for bool. Oh boy. The box active. Ta-da. Okay, fantastic. Let's see if that compiles. Can we move this bool maybe to some other bools? Here, more bools. Free space script. Close window time. The box active. It was moved. Let's copy it. So letterbox active. Letterbox active. Yeah. How about we do this in cinematic, and we do is scripted camera. Scripted camera is running right now. Okay, why is this public here? Script actions. Oh boy. Why is script actions not a friend of script engine? Protected. Maybe call it friends. Friends set letterbox active. Let's do friends notify letterbox active. Does it have any other friends? It does. Well, it's a different class. Friend execute action is in script engine, yeah. Okay, so there's precedence to this, even as a virtual function. Good. Then here we do a copy of this. Say scripted camera running right now is in scripted camera active. Brackets are what holds this true. Let's remove those comments. Then here we say, isn't cinematic this or is scripted camera active? Okay. Do it like this. Okay, fantastic. Then what's next? Okay, it's quite a substantial change. Yeah, I think letterbox is probably good enough. Plus the scripted camera movements. I think it covers most of the cases. Maybe there's some divergences, but even if it's probably not a big deal, right? Yeah, it's okay. Good. What else can we do? So I'm happy with most of it so far. Yeah. Actual mint and speed. Yeah. Okay. The comments need polishing, I think, but that's not a big deal. This one here is a bit annoying, isn't it? Let me remove here those goddamn lines. Select the forward speed convention that is in effect right now. While cinematic is running, in which case. I think we don't need this comment. This function, do we want to move it into physics behavior as a static? Probably not. Yeah. But having this public function also sucks. Maybe, what if we take this and move it here? Make it static. Use retail movement speed. Speeds. Physics updated age. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, that looks good to me. Then here, we now need to say physics, behavior. Do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Maybe we should do like this. It also looks unholy, doesn't it? So maybe we can make it a bit more readable by splitting this apart. Here we do that. Okay, I think this looks all very promising. Retain movement speeds. Okay, that looks simple enough. Okay. What's the time? 2 hours 30. Okay, that's longer than I expected already. Okay. Good. So I think things are compiling. Yeah. Okay, I think we made some good progress. This change looks very promising. I probably will look over it a bit more to make sure there's no dirt, but this looks very, very promising. Yeah. Okay, cool. I will take a break here. Wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.